That sounds like shit to do. Not good. It's kind of spooky. Well, no, probably, but sometimes maybe that would explain it. Well, has a very some sample, right? Use that version of it. But now it's time to replicate his settings. And then we'll make it do exactly everything that it can. Resync is on.
Settings first, I am starting at 4K resolution, utilizing
'Cause if the OSS is on or not, it's definitely not. That's really good to know. He doesn't have it on.
here is iPhone and it's a game which I think was just a little bit later. Okay. And
It is that one. We can deal with it like this, and then you can actually see over it. That's what you'd have to do if I to make them make a place. That's how big the compiler is sitting on that. Oh, that sounded pretty short.
again, and pretty much thanks to
Just in time. So those are all the settings that he used. I think they have to restart again. Using the same settings as him will give maybe really great and easy to see a comparison of how the competitor will be versus his. It should obviously be better, but and he will get a competitor to eventually.
outfit really this office and take this legend in on and here. You have it, guys. Beautiful red dead redemption here at 100 flows frames per second. I'm already trying
100 FPS with the highest of some settings.
okay, but too late. A phone 16 colors. Straight in, all right. And this is a personal smooth experience by the of the four payment cycles here. You can see it is one of the faster in the RTX 4090 in its title. That one will get you on 9 frames per second, the first time in teams basically on average. But it's not completely game changing over the next year as compared to the 4090. Remember, the Lopez Jack when he's walking this direction. Let's try to see him, guys. So, but we good schedule are very close to the averages as well. This is what Jack usually gives, but not today, guys. Maybe at the next graduation. But let's keep on going. I'm going to the strawberry challenge, which is one of the most invasive areas in the entire game. And the evening talks about that yesterday. Seeing as well. One thing that I failed to mention, one of the favorite because I continue to watch here, this card in some games, use going up. When you film, you can definitely hear it. Even though it's only around 100-inch frames per second, you know, even for young subs happening on well, the original layer is a very rich example of it. Huge for one, they usually get 2,000 words of FPS here. They're playing even if it's only 20 FPS, there is a lot for it. It's really, really interesting. Now, Bob is right here. Let's grab that person and hear him sing. You turn up the video. Sing, Bob. Sing for us. It's beautiful, isn't it, my friends? He has such an intelligent voice. Also, how did you think you could love this and able to show I'm telling you, this is a really judge and potentially probably something that you think you do to happen for monthly all of them really continue to have time to follow this game and you know it's outside the neighborhood, the neighborhood, reflect and stuff like that on full the same. There's something right there, and let's try it with 8 times. And he says yes. Because this completely destroyed the RTX 2090. Yeah, I made a video about a month ago. 8 times demonstrating Red Revolution 2. And there's a Shanty and a Totem here. That's a good Japanese Shanty to carry it to the height. Shanty's actually inside of the strawberry panel, which I'm about to go into. And this one, it's used to the non-to having that ammo for any 8 times later. But yes, it's very
So of course that's a little better.
When you get the next country, I said, literally says on the 500 days, 50 angry blood, which is fine, which makes it free. We haven't seen that since revival. If I'm talking about nature there with partner and tape. Well, just yeah, well, how to do what he was high resolution, because I didn't do it. And FDA is what the same thing.
I don't know if I'll compare with this one. It's only 5 2, fair enough. Is this green and not to make it listing up something that's wrong. So of course that really shows her that its FPS is showing as 42. Meanwhile, his up there was in the hundreds. And now using the same settings. Shows wrong. That competitor is not the beefiest competitor of all time. It just really does open much eyes to what too many new compilers do an ABI compared to that. Just totally
Oh, yeah. Whoa. Hey, down, look. We're heading the right way to the mall.
Oh, forget it. This is a waste of my time.
Now you sure know how to wind a man's ticker, mister. Whoa, dear Lord!
You'll regret this.
Reach the mall block. No, thank you. That ain't right. That ain't right.
Hey, partner. Just thinking.
Reach
Maybe
the
our
mall
problems
block.
aren't all
No,
that
thank you.
bad, huh?
That good to hear.
And you will try to make it be like how he over there made it be like.
You all right? Hello. way.
About to be 80%, and then just kind of go there for a bit longer. It's, Elsa. Hmm.
Hello.
Howdy.
Yeah, howdy.
Hello! Damn, but this weather gets you half full of hope.
Can't remember better. Go on, get going.
Hello, sir?
This is one of them days.
Hey. Didn't know we was all working at this today. I'm working in my own way. Don't you fret.
Hello.
Absolutely needs to get this shot. Then you can just make it the same colors as what he up there made it.
Oh, hello.
Absolutely needs to just give that screenshot to the competitor. So the time is only at the 6 and it's becoming daytime. Maybe that does mean it's transitioning out of winter all along. Maybe it might be true. Ice is all over. It's not ice. It's not as bad as it can be. So, yes, this needs to be. Just not sneezing here then. I understand MR620 is when winter will end. Because it's transition. Halt. Yeah, nobody can copy him.
Evening. Good day, sir.
How do you do?
Closing time, last call.
Well, he's getting into close. And he just needs to know how he made compared to the other things.
This is dropping your FPS like crazy. Obviously, it makes things a lot sharper than the TAA.
Yeah.
I see it. I will be able to
He's good to
It's giving me daytime than SAA. Can you believe that? It's crazy. Oh boy, TAA is actually really terrible. Okay, everything is fine. I'm gonna start counting the FPS again. It's 15 FPS exactly, but now we don't have blurred edges, blurry graphics everywhere. Actually, we have very, very sharp.
I sent the Lenovo Aura Edition laptop to 6 artists around the world. No matter what they made, the laptop gave them the power to create in new ways. Creativity really is limitless. With the Lenovo Yoga Steam 7i Aura Edition in my
Hello guys, Crispy here, welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be showing you guys how to configure MSI Afterburner from your AMD GPU won't be as accurate, okay? Anyway, I also like to start it with Windows, but well, that's up to you, of course. And now, let's go to the monitoring tab right here. This is where you will select everything that you want to showcase on your on-screen display. And I also like to select 500 milliseconds right here. This is just how often your on-screen display will refresh, basically. And well, let's start with GPU utilization, GPU temperatures. They're right here. Show on-screen display, and then memory usage. This is the VRAM allocation here. Scrolling down, I also like to include core clock, of course. The memory clock isn't as important. It's always at the same value, so it doesn't really matter, you know. I just like to include it in my own on-screen display. The power utilization, I like that, yes. Fan speed, well, I don't use it. It just becomes too cluttered in my opinion. CPU usage and CPU temperatures are also very important, of course, so I'll enable those. I will skip all of the individual core utilizations and temperatures, you know, and the clock speeds as well, because it just becomes way too cluttered once again if I include all of that. Let's use CPU power as well, RAM allocation here, or usage, and then we also need the frame rates, which will show us our FPS, of course. Frame rate averages, which will show up whenever we hit the page up button that I set in the little benchmark tab over there, and then I like to include the 1% lows as well. This is basically it. You know, we got all of the information almost that we need for my on-screen display, and now we're running GTA 5 over here with the on-screen display. As you can see, it's very tiny still, but I will show you how to make it a bit bigger. Yeah, that's what she said. As well as is good, in my opinion at least, as my usual on-screen display. So let's start changing over here. So I'm just gonna set this to high, this to stealth mode. Some games will only work if you have these settings enabled, and I'm also going to make it a
And he never made that on, so maybe I'll just do
little
it.
bit bigger just by turning this up over here. Yeah, that's way more visible right now, right? I also like to enable the on-screen display fill right here, so we have this little rectangle on the background, and it makes everything easier to see, of course. And then you'll be able to change it in bold. The size, I'll keep it on 5 as well, and just resize it with this when I need to. Also, I like to have a little gap between the window of the game and the actual one. Need to. Also, I'll keep it on 5 as well.
He's like the tier Yes, Yep, all mines think alike, because those aren't the only ones who know about
Also, I like to
L42.
have a little gap between the window of the game and the actual on-screen display, so I'm just going to set this to 7, which is the number that I
So then you will, of course, do that.
always use, and now you can see there's a little gap over there. I guess for showcasing purposes, I'm just going to set it to 20 over there, so it's more noticeable. Here, let's go to the settings again and monitoring tab, and now I'm just gonna rearrange things. I like to have GPU usage on top, GPU temperature after it, then the power, then the core clock, and then the VRAM usages. I'm gonna do the same thing for the CPU usage, CPU temperature. Where is the clock and the power? There we go, RAM as well. And now I'm gonna grab all of them and put them up here as well. This way it's a bit more organized, as you can see, and it will also show up in this order over in the Afterburner skin on the right over here. Now, I will disable...
Mindy always wanted to make it like how he did it.
Don't need, because I don't know if it makes a difference to FPS or anything, but I usually do this, okay? So I'm just gonna select...
And you should also do that. He's teaching Mindy more Mindy never even knew about with that.
All of it, and I'll just disable them by clicking that button. This one is not important either, and that's it. Okay, let's apply that. Now, let's select the colors of the on-screen display. Next, you just need to click this little button right here with the 3 dots.
Now Mindy will, of course, do it.
I will change the GPU to this brighter green. I like it a little bit better. I will change the GPU to this brighter green.
You should see how old that video is. 6 months ago, so it's not that old. And yeah, it's up to date. What he did.
I like it a little bit better. Apply it. Look at that. GPU statistics are now bright green. The color one is the CPU, so I'm just gonna select the orange color right here because it's an AMD Ryzen CPU.
Mandy will make it blue.
System color 0 is these numbers, the values basically of everything. I like to keep it on yellow.
So he did do it. It's just straight up the color yellow. Perfectly. Oh, Mandy went in and out.
Here, there we go. Starting to look a little bit better in my opinion. And then the color 2 right here, I like to keep it in this.
So then that's the kind of green.
Light green, which is a little bit different than the GPU green. Okay, you can see the hexadecimal numbers right here. And then the color 3, I like to set it to gray. Okay, and this will be FF808080. This will be very important for later, but
At least Mandy will finally have it exactly how he has it.
I'm just gonna keep it there right now. So I'm just gonna apply all of that, click OK, and there we go. Next up, let's name all of these little individual values. So GPU user.
And now Mandy will do that.
Right here, I will click override group name and just type GTX 980 Ti.
And we'll make it just say 4070 LEP2P.
Here today. So now the GPU usage is not in the same line as the other GPU statistics anymore, and that's I like to have it, okay? GPU temperature, I'm just gonna select this again, and type temp right there, and now we have the temperature below GTX 980 Ti. Then we have the power over here, and I will just power, of course, and there we go. Power, core clock, type clock, apply, there we go, and now the VRAM over here. Just gonna type VRAM, there we go.
GTX.
And it's there.
That's not
now
the
CPU utilization, the one that we're testing here today, or the CPU that we're using here today, is a Ryzen 5 3600X. So I'm just gonna type 3600X right there. Now we got the usages, and now I'll do the. Get out! Exact same thing as I did for the GPU. Okay, so it's gaining a bit of shape right now, right? It's almost nighttime, actually. It's taking a while. Now, I will start counting our FPS so we can take a look at that as well. It looks pretty bad, right? Because we got a huge square right now. Half of it doesn't have anything. It's empty. So I'm just gonna fix that by going to the settings here once again, monitoring tab, and scrolling down to the frame rate averages, and time to feast. We are
Venom.
Also, I
the crazy slime zombie.
Well, and show on-screen display with the graph, not with the text, but that's very important, of course. I'll apply it, and now we have a frame time graph as well. And now I'll select frame rate right here, type FPS, okay.
So the whole time, the reason that for him it looks like it does long, it's of course the BTA version of that.
Here we go. Then the frame rate averages, I will just type average, like so. Frame rate 1% lows, I will do 1. I will just type
You already
Average,
copied
like
it all.
so. Frame rate 1% lows. I will do 1%, like so, and that's it. Now we don't have the huge, well, now we do have the huge rectangle because of the frame time, but not because of the 1% lows and the averages. Now, to fix the frame time graph and make it a little bit smaller, I'm gonna go here to these little dots again, scroll down to the width of the
Now maybe we'll make it the same as whatever he'll do
graph
with it.
and select 6. I like to have it on 6. Well, maybe today it's a little bit bigger. Oh yeah, it's because I included GTX over there, but we'll fix that in just a little bit, okay? I'll keep this on 6 right here. Next up, let's separate the GPU, CPU, and FPS numbers. For that, I will go over to the CPU. Separate the GPU, CPU, and FPS numbers. For that, I will go over to the CPU usage over here and type dash.
It's not hard now, just straight up
And like that.
You wouldn't have known that.
This will make that little gap that you see in my video.
All along it. That better be true. Because we're really to see
videos, it makes things more
No, it's looking good.
pleasing to take a look at, you know. I'm also going to do that for the
This entire time, that's how he made it. The gaps, Mindy wouldn't have known that to himself ever.
Yes, there we go. It's starting to look very good, isn't it? And I also like to have all of these statistics a little bit smaller than the actual GPU and CPU utilizations. For that, I will be selecting GPU temperature right here and typing this, okay, S equals 80.
Again, that's way more complex than what Mindy ever thought it would have to do to resize those.
Temp, and I will copy.
That's what Mindy did.
This and paste it in the power. Or as well, already see things change there.
So then because if the Xbox X version of that game exists.
The size of those letters.
Letters.
Here we
Just
go. And there it
It
is.
is.
now it's time to get with the other ones. This if this got this. Let's see box.
I'll also do this for the CPU temperature, power, and so on. And there we go. Now it's a little bit easier to see.
Case that we remain like that.
The GPU usages and bottlenecking scenarios and so on whenever GPU isn't maxed out, like right now actually, I guess. And next, let's fix the GTX 980 which is a bit too big compared to all the other things to tidy things up once again. I'm gonna go ahead and type NVIDIA GeForce GTX 980 Ti.
Now that he's gonna do that.
Okay.
Getting real because things and them it's definitely reasonable. For the X bomb. This is what's also coming to the compiler too. So the C-Box and the OS5 versions of that game gets that right now. To game compilers too.
This is what we have now. I want to keep all of this, but
That's something else about Guitar 6.
in this little site, okay? So for that, I will go over here and type S equals 50, and then
so of course the machine would be direct with similar with those not. That's really similar to what the OS5 could do on its external settings.
and if I apply it, you can see that everything becomes very, very small, but that's not what we want, of course. We want the 980 Ti part to be big, so I'm just gonna type S equals 1. 100 there. Okay, and now we have NVIDIA GeForce GTX, very small, and 980 Ti, very big. But it still looks pretty bad, obviously, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the little dash. Anything he wants.
That's it. Yep, that's the it. Let's cheap. Ease. That's good seeing right now. Maybe it'll be for the version of
That looks beautiful now.
so it can upgrade. It will upgrade the game. No more looking pixely. Now it's optimized is correctly with the game.
Now the thing is, I don't like this to be the same color as this, okay? I like the 980 Ti to be more emphasized. So I will go back here.
He's so relatable as he does a lot of the mouse and texting and blah 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 exactly like how then you do it.
The GeForce GTX part and type C equals FF. Come on. 80. Remember that? That's the gray quality in hexadecimal, and now everything.
It just made everything sorting and all.
Became gray. Now I want the 980 Ti to be green, so I'm just gonna go here. Here, see the color of the 980 Ti. It's FF00, FF40, and I will.
Going to do it over there too.
Go behind the 980 Ti part over here, and type C equals FF00, FF. F40.
Each of us fix any systems.
Apply that, and now we have it
Now
beautiful.
it seems how the price of it will be covered by free, but if you assume it will turn degrees to 8. Another discount.
GeForce GTX there. 980 Ti there. Everything looking very, very neat indeed, in my opinion. I'm proud of this thing. Anyway, next up I will do exactly the same.
More that it just says box 1. It is actually the new systems version of it. So it was just like the OS 5 all on playing OS 4's games. It's really great now, though.
Same thing to the CPU usage part of it. Also, the 980 Ti fits there pretty well, even without the Ti being small. But if you have, for example, a 4070 Ti and you type 4070 Ti right there, you can see that the square or the rectangle becomes bigger because of it. So in this case, I like to make the Ti smaller, and for that, just do it once again like this. S equals.
So then you should have done that.
Equals 50.
So complicated, but it is really genius. It has to download.
You can see the TI is now very small, and the percentages are also very small, which is bad, of course. Now we can't see anything, so you just gotta type S equals 100 again.
It's kind of making more sense now when he thinks about how all that is.
Without anything on the front, and then the percentile will be big again. Now let's go do the same thing to the CPU right here, which has a dash N already, but this time it's going to be a little bit different, because if we add the little S equals
It's like it will be its own version.
50 with
It's just online mode. Now it's in app. It is funny. Now instead of the past.
AMD right Ryzen 5, and now S equals 100. For this to be big again, you know. And also if we add the dash N behind the 3600X, you can see that this is a little bit too big of a space. I don't like it, so I'm gonna fix that, okay? And instead of putting this little dash N behind the S equals 50, I'm just gonna cut it and put it over here.
He of course cut it. That's exactly what I needed.
Now it should be
This is
a little bit small, as you can see. It looks a little bit better, in my opinion, this way. Now let's make the AMD Ryzen gray again. F equals 88. And I'll need the 3600X part to be orange. So F 8.
So Mindy will now have to note what that is.
T00. There we go. C E equals F 80 00. There we go. Orange, so F 80 00. we go.
Well, that
C
built into
equals
it. To think that the Xbox is possibly capable of that in the first place, though.
FFFF 8000 8000. There we go. Now we got a very beautiful CPU showcasing with AMD Ryzen 5 on top and a 3600X. The X is still a little
For some reason,
bit too big.
and chatting is going to go too bad because the years are going to it's the fans.
So I'm gonna make it smaller as well just by doing this once
They
again.
keep
S
thinking it's
equals
the show or do something like that. Being confused.
50.
Needs to still some 0%.
Well, guys, I just noticed that we're almost done with this, actually. The only thing left to do is...
It's so
make
complicated.
the
And he definitely never ever would have knew how to make it look how he did it if it wasn't for his handy video.
a different color, as well as add the API that we're utilizing on top of the FPS right there, like we did with the AMD Ryzen 5 and so on, but this will be dynamic, of course, because all of the games have different APIs. Not all of them, but you get it. Right? So I'm going to scroll down here to the frame rate stuff. And instead of just using dash and FPS, dash, is this dash by the way? I think it's dash, right? Or is dash this one? I don't know. Slash! This is slash over here. Yes, I just remembered. Everything is wrong in this vid. I'm so sorry. Now, to add the API, all you gotta do is type app. Like so, over here. And now, if I apply it, you can see that
Says view okay.
11 because the game is running in DirectX 11. Now I want to have
So this show the graphics API.
it on top of the FPS over there, so I'm just going to add it right. There. Okay, and I want to make it smaller, of course, so I'm just gonna type all the way over here on the left. S equals 50. There we go. And now everything is very...
Just straight up does look different. Way shinier. That green in turn into that. That's the first one.
very small, so we gotta make the FPS over here a little bit bigger. So I'll type S equals 100. There it is. Now we got a small D311 and big FPS. And you already know what to do to make the FPS number go down. You just add a little slash n.
You called it slash again.
Over there, and there we go. Now it's beautiful. But I also want to make it gray as well, so I'm gonna go back to the beginning of this line over here and set the color. See, equals FF808080. There we go. Now everything is gray once again, and now we need to make the FPS number green again, but remember this was a different green to the GPU green. This one is FF00, FF00, so I'm going to type that, and there we go. Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh,
Now let's
hello.
change the average and 1% low colors over there, because I don't like it to have the same color as the FPS there. Because these aren't the actual FPS that we're getting at the moment. It's easier if this is white and this is gray, in my opinion. So let's go over to the monitoring tab once again. For that, you'll want to click the three dots over here once again, scroll down to the
60. Yes.
Move already.
Look at
value color, okay, and on the averages,
you can read this as smooth as companions.
we'll select FF808080 over there. And now you can see that the value
We should also make it start to the and he forgot Control 6. We should have done all to see more was
value is grayed out. Well, it's just gray, you know. And the 1% lows. I'm gonna do that the same. Yep, there we go. Gray, and now the FPS are still all white. I don't like.
How do you do?
he almost lost him, and now he figured out how to get back on track with him.
Like that, I like to have them. green. So on the averages, I'll select the green over. Here, there we go. 1% lows is well, apply, and the frame rate.
He doesn't use min maps, which many will.
As well, apply.
What's Morley coming together exactly like his? He wants
And
to
now
read
I think
Maybe
that's
does
right.
have to.
We have
And there, now it's done.
completed my on-screen display successfully. I remembered every step of the way because I do this very, very often. Okay, but you guys, if you don't want to go over all of it like I did over here, explaining everything and stuff, I'll leave a link down below with the file that you'll want to replace on your MSI.
Things what that file is. Profiles. So that's all, of course, what it is.
Afterburner. Also, all you need to do with that file is download it. It's a folder with these two files in it, and just put the profiles folder inside of the MSI Afterburner folder, which is inside of program files.
Okay, back up a bit. It's only 1%. It's not. So this entire time we didn't have to do that. We could have just downloaded a screen file, configs.
Replace file.
And he wouldn't have knew that to this whole time. He could have just downloaded that. So now maybe we'll make. Might as well back everything up in there at this point, because why not? Wow, stuff. It would keep each competitor backed up and safe. 200 GB. Coming. So all GWAM files times 86. It would have Steam in it, so nah, that's why it would be giant. Yep. Yeah, man, you'll see how giant the Steam folder is. Oh, it is why it's so giant. Now it's only 5 GB. Yep, that's why it was so giant. But at least Mandy did it without having to do all that. Although it's so painful to know that this whole time you didn't have to go through the tutorial. Maybe you could have just copied that file, but there. No, it's exactly like his, which is really good. So if those are showing. Maybe I'll just go ahead and make that on-screen thing a little bigger so Mindy can see it a bit easier.
Nobody likes you. Well, no one likes us. Make me crap. Make me crap. You are an annoying shit. Fuck.
Now maybe you'll see what that looks like. He doesn't use the timer, but why not? Just like to see where the time is. Of course, it totally does. Leakier. Such a silly event. Sorry. Spots. At least now that menu thingy finally looks professional and really good. Instead of, well, clunky and bulky and, well, things are all over the place. It doesn't look neat. Now finally will look neat and exactly like how a YOUTUBR has it. You know, all program files are backed up, so that you can rest easy, making, making competitor is all backed up and safe. Under there. Sure. It's going.